Why is it so dark? There it went. Whoa. Let's see here. Zoom in ever so slightly. Advanced. I guess I'm live for all that matters. Okay. It's always weird going live through the normal actual YouTube thing. What's going on, guys? It's probably going to take a few minutes for everybody to realize I'm live because I'm just going live because I want to. I'm bored. It's been a long do nothing day. Okay, Kyle Rayner, you can hear me. Cool. No, my worry was like my camera was wonky since for some reason Logitech took away a bunch of the things you can do. Let me uh let me drag this up here. See if I like that better. Yes, I think I do. At least the chat is better over there. It is what it is. Stopping in, got a found a friend. Okay, that's fine, Jerry. Jerry, the okay and somewhat useful. But yeah, no, I don't really have anything going on. Just bored. It's been an uneventful weekend, essentially, but a very long week. But if you saw in the thumbnails, I did pick up some new comic books, which, I don't always talk about my comic books on this channel. I almost never mention them, in fact. But I picked up some new Mighty Morphin stuff. For those who don't know, who aren't following the Boom comics, they're they no longer have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Go Go Power Rangers. Now they have Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers, so two different lines, following two separate kind of things happening in the same timeline. It's interesting. However, what I picked up here was actually the uh, the three issue run of Draken New Dawn. So this is happening in the alternate universe of the Coinless. And then this is actually just a cool foil cover for Power Rangers 55. So this is the final one of the previous old way of doing things and the introduction of the new Green Ranger. So yes, they have finally brought back the Green Ranger after everything that happened with Draken. However, I missed a whole bunch of stuff post Shattered Grid, so I'm gonna have to get a hold of those at some point. I have other comics that I have on order. One is here, another is on its way from Amazon. But I will be doing an in the kitchen video tomorrow. I have a whole bunch of stuff to show off. Um, I thought about doing it tonight, but then I'm like, no, it's fine. So, like I said, I'll give a few more minutes, let people pop in because it's one thing for me to just randomly go live. As I look around, I haven't done much in the cave this week. I was working on building. I haven't done much in the way of reviews. I have a bunch of quickies to film tomorrow. I need to start reorganizing, cleaning stuff up. I have characters that have fallen over here. I have characters that need to be put away over there. It's kind of annoying. I need to start working on my plan for cave changes that are coming up. Figure out how soon I can make those things happen. So, yeah, just going to be bullshitting tonight. Seeing what you guys are up to. I see a thumbs up there. Also, if you guys are new to the channel or new to any of the channels, please do the like and subscribe thing. I generally don't bring it up. And if you're interested in merch, in the description down below is a Shoky store. By all means, go buy things. I've got t-shirts from all kinds of stuff. I've got some phone cases. I should have had hats, but that never happened. Uh, Mugs and the like, especially from the uh, secondary channel. So over on the second channel, which has now been renamed to Shoky Reviews 2, as in TOO, I did the Admiral Akbar Black Series review, and that inspired a whole new uh, line of merch with the Fuck Your Empire merch. So if you're interested in seeing that, I'm purchasing it, by all means, link down below. Same thing with the Patreon, of course. If you want to help support the channels, please do. I think I'm gonna let the I think I'm going to let the patroneers pick out the last build of the year, so to speak. Not the last thing I'm going to build, but the last main pick that I'll do. Because I did just get a really cool kit yesterday. I'll be filming an unboxing for that, so that I'll be knocking out this week along with a commission job. Hopefully I can get that done this week as well. And then I can get back to doing normal builds at some point. So, and of course, if you guys pop in, make sure you say hi in the chat for everybody to see. And like I said, going live last minute, never know who's going to show up. It is what it is. We just had Buffalo Wild Wings. I'm a little full. But I did actually want to go over some comments and things as well. So if you guys have any questions and stuff like that, by all means ask. But I'm going to go over some comments from the last week or so between the channels. Because I got some that, while I replied to, nobody always checks these things. But if it helps anyone from asking the same questions again, I'll do it. Okay, so let me go to my comments section here. Pull it up on the phone. Okay, so on the Toy World Devastator review, like the final one, Epic Gamer 4142 was asking, in all caps, how do YouTubers afford all of this? I don't know, because I don't consider myself a real YouTuber, technically speaking, because while I make lots of YouTube videos and I make a tiny amount of money at it, it's not my main job. However, that has come up many a time if you're looking at the very large combiner sets that I've gotten the last year. If you look at the flame toys or things like that, yes, they are of great cost. However, in dealing with that, the simple answer is you save. I saved money for about 4 months to get Devastator. I was actually saving money to get the Flame Toys Prime, but the Devastator kind of came up first and I had the money. So between saving, working a few extra hours, and then selling off some stuff, that's how I could afford those things. So don't act like I'm one of these YouTubers that is just rolling in the dough. I mean, I have a day job. That's what makes things happen. And then occasionally YouTube sees fit to throw ad revenue at me. And by that I mean like every other month I might get it. It seems like this month I might get a payout too. So it'll be the first time in almost 2 years that I got a payout 2 months in a row. So that's actually kind of nice. So I could be close to actually making money on YouTube every month, which would be awesome. It's not going to really get very far, but it's something. The goal is to ultimately always have this pay for itself. That's the way I've always looked at it. All right, so hopefully I've addressed that. So if you guys see like me getting some cool stuff and you go, well, yeah, of course he can get that. He's a big YouTuber. One, I'm not a big YouTuber. I'm a tiny YouTuber. And if I even consider myself one, I am a YouTube person. But I'm just like you guys. I have a job. With great hobbies comes great saving strategies or selling strategies or great credit card debt. One way or the other. That's how I have things coming here. Hopefully by the end of this month. I'm hoping they'll be here by Christmas because that might make it look good under the tree. That are all going on the credit card because there's no way I could afford it all at once. And one thing that I had pre-ordered that now has been bumped to January, so that gives me more time to save. It'll become a Christmas present, or I'm sorry, a birthday present instead of a Christmas present. All right, so on the beginning 30 Gundam video from a while back, somebody was asking, let's see, the Silent Sama said this was a kit that catapulted the whole Builders anime and line. I wouldn't say that the beginning 30 did, but I believe that at least one of the beginning ones did do that, in fact. Once again, guys, if you're lurking, make sure you leave a comment. Just say hi. or ask questions if you got them. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, Sam. I didn't even see the name. Hi, Sam. Uh, on the New Age Scaramanga, I don't know how to say it. So that's the New Age version of Soundwave. If you guys enjoyed that video, cool. Not a lot of people have watched it, which I find really strange. Um, so it's possible YouTube is doing weird algorithmic things right now. But he just said, very cool. Transformers are a lot more detailed and more, or have more movement than the ones he had when he was a kid. That's entirely true. Most of them were blocks. If you could move the arms, you'd be happy. If you could move the legs, great. Transformers these days are, no pun intended, decades better than they used to be. And that's why I collect way more of these modern lines, whether it's the Siege stuff or the New Age things or the bigger third party combiners. Like to have a combiner that both looks really good, has posability, and all that kind of stuff is amazing, but it's of high cost. Once again, coming around to that. Let's see here. On a very old at this point double October review for the Gundam Zabanya. J partner Napusakorn, sure, said still waiting for the MG. Well, you're going to be waiting on the MG of the Zabanya for a long time because we're only just now rolling through the season 1 Gundams. So apparently Floyd Mayweather is coming out of retirement. Maybe I heard something about that. I don't really care. It's boxing. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be waiting on MG movie Gundams, you're gonna be waiting a while. Presumably, they're going in order. Okay, and yes, we did. One thing we did not discuss, and I didn't make a video over, was all of the new Gundam reveals from the other weekend from the expo. There was just way too much shit to go over, but there was a lot of stuff. What are we doing in the stream? I'm just bullshitting, and right now I'm reading comments and answering questions. Don't have anything in particular going on, just hanging out. But I'm addressing some comments right now. I'll probably go through multiple channels. If you guys are unaware, I have 3 channels. This one, Shoky Reviews 2, and It Doesn't Have to Make Sense, where I go over other things I enjoy that have nothing to do with things made of plastic. So, which I probably should do some comic book stuff over there because it fits more. Okay, so on the Master Grade Monday for the Sandrock Endless Waltz version, not the movie, but the other one, Kevin Yu wanted to know the name of the mobile suit that was behind the Gundam Sandrock in the box art, and that would be the Magonak. It's one of the custom ones, but it's still Magonaks. What's an MG you want, but feel like we might not get? Atlas. Easy. As for the live stream we did last weekend with the Gundam Build Divers Batlog, which was a very good and interesting video, and a lot of people have watched it, it did spark the discussion of, was Jesus a new type? And I think we came to the conclusion that probably he might have been, but without the exposure to Jabro Dirt / Psychomew, his powers really wouldn't have been realized to their fullest extent. And due to a conversation I had yesterday, it's entirely possible that Moses was actually the Avatar. But I have not been able to confirm that he ever did anything with airbending. So it's possible he was a waterbender Avatar and did not get to his airbending training. Build burning, yeah, probably not. H3 and FX. Well, I mean, we had the prototypes years ago. But anyway, so Barry Bend left a comment. Not a lot of people leave comments on the live streams after the fact, so it's funny when people do. You're referring to Jim's counterattack. Yes, we determined in that thing that Jim's counterattack was the thing I couldn't remember. And he says, with GBN, scale is normalized in the game unless the game mode focuses on it, which I still find strange. Because there would be size advantages, and every other series we have shows a clear size change between different versions. And we do see first build Diver Series Gundam Breaker Table Arena. What? A Gundam Breaker Table Arena. What? Oh, as we do in the first build. Okay. If Riku would pilot one Gundam, it would have been 007 Swords. I don't know about that, but interesting opinion. Don't forget his frog bending abilities. He has that skill like no other. I think that could have easily been water bending, because the way they suppose that it does rain frogs is that you have a very sudden drought right in the mating season for the frogs, so that the actual evaporation is capable of taking the eggs into the sky and they mature at a higher level and then they fall. I don't know if you've ever heard that before, but that was one of these supposed things. So it's entirely possible that is a function of water bending, Jerry. As for air bending, I still don't know. And if you're remotely offended by the whole attributing sci-fi things to the Bible, there's a whole lot of creative fiction in the Bible, especially Old Testament. So, yeah. I think he's mentioning the PG strike from the commemorative match at Hiroto's Gundam base. I don't know. Calamity and MG again. Do I like them? I mean, I can't necessarily like something that isn't here yet. I mean, I don't really care if that makes you feel anything. I mean, I'm behind on my MG seed things. They look cool from what I saw. I'm more interested in a lot more of the HG things we got coming. Don't forget, Moses is also a Beyblade champ according to the anime as well. That's just weird. But yes. Comments. Okay. So there was a lot of comments on the Red Series Optimus Prime review. Like, I mean, a lot of comments. And some people were kind of about it. Some people were pretty adamant about it. So I gotta go over some of these things. Oh, that's weird. Hold on, that doesn't work in this canon. He can't be a Beyblader and Avatar because we're still excluding technology. Okay, so Jason Cayer, longtime subscriber, says he's still on the fence. I've seen better options out there. Something about Megatron figure is a little bit better. No, there's a typo. I don't know what he meant to say. If he makes a side swipe, then he might look into that line. If you're waiting for a side swipe to show up in that line, good luck, because they're not even going in G1 order. I think the next one actually has some Beast Wars and Prime, and if I remember correctly, I believe Prime RC is in the next one. Moses was Ultraman and would not transform. Sure. Did have a discussion with Sean about if you could take them apart, because he was thinking about if it could be taken apart and painted and stuff like that. However, Spicy 3 designs I'm going to address, because actually you are right. These are so bad Hasbro made them Walmart exclusives. That should be a telltale sign. I saw a pile in a return cart at a customer service area at my local store. Suppose maybe worth picking up at Ross for $2 at some point. One, that's a little rude. Two, that's not how exclusives work. Hasbro doesn't pick where exclusives go. Exclusives are basically bid by the distributors or the stores. Not Hasbro goes, fuck the rest of you, I'm sending it to Walmart. But with something that they don't even know that people want, it makes sense to be limited. Now, online retailers be what they are, has Repulse, things like that, but having it in a single big box store makes the most amount of sense when you're not even sure you're going to sell it. If Toys R Us was still around, I guarantee you it would be a Toys R Us exclusive, and nobody would have that excuse to say, well, look, it's going only to Toys R Us. It must suck. No, Toys R Us exclusives used to be the shit. So, you knew if it was going to be a Toys R Us exclusive, it's that. Now, if you want to wait until they hit the $2 bin at Ross, fine. But for me, they're nowhere to be found on the shelves once they come out once. These things sell out like crazy. The fact that I didn't buy Soundwave when I had it in hand, And now I feel like I should have because I don't know when it might be available. Now, if they're dumb and the first wave was very small and then they're going to re-release it here in about 2 months and then it'll just be sitting, then fine. What you said makes sense. But other than that, that was just kind of rude. But in comparison to like the Gundam Universe figures, which I think really does fit, I think the Gundam Universe looks better. Bandai is better with their finer details, whereas Hasbro, not so much. Toys R Us used to be the only place to get McFarlane stuff in town, usually multiple stuff. Have you felt the effect of scalpers in your Gunpla shopping activity? No, not at all. Because one, I buy my stuff online, so scalpers are not a problem. Also, who is scalping Gunpla that bad? Bandai made the second move system for controlling your Zaku robots. What do you mind? Yeah, that's almost true. Okay, so, but yeah, I just wanted to address that because that comment was a bit weird. Because some people just assume because they're not great that that's why they're at Walmart. Walmart has some pretty cool shit. I mean, Walmart is the only place that you can buy the NECA movie Ninja Turtles stuff. So, I mean, where do you go from there? I don't see much in the way of scalping. Now, scalping with figures and collectibles, yes, that is a massive problem, especially with things from Ninja Turtles. Apparently, pops are really bad for that. Not a problem on my side, but a thing that happens. Certain Black Series figures, people are also scalping, uh, things like that, because the problem is there are exclusives of way too many things. On the HG ground type review, so, Ryan Twomey, interesting name, said when the master grade doesn't come with the fridge. Yeah, it's kind of funny that the master grade one doesn't come with a fridge on the backpack. If you don't know what we were talking about when we refer to the mini fridge, you got to go watch that review and watch the point video. I feel like I haven't done the point video all year. Maybe I need to end with the point video. Heard some scalpers went crazy on the MJX, but mostly they went after the metal builds. I wouldn't say scalpers did that. I saw more people just, it's a limited run thing, so they just bought them up. Sure, those exist, but I mean, you got to think I don't exactly have Gunpla stores, you know. The fact that I saw actual Gunpla at Hobby Lobby this week was crazy. No, mind you, they were like small kits, but actual Gunpla, not just some Bandai random kits. Still have stuff at Target, mostly the same like 6 kits over and over. So they had like a packet that they had to buy. Like the Bandai forced on them. Walmart is also the only place you can get G Kids release anime movies, Ghibli films. Yeah, I guess that's true. Even the SD comes with the fridge. That is funny. SDCS, yep. Okay, let's see here. Also did the Red Series Megatron, which in my opinion was the better of the two, but that's not saying a whole lot. He has his own problems. Um okay, so Hida Atarase, usually here in the live streams. So I love how these guys look together, but they need their capes. In the lead up to G2, Optimus and Megs were co-leaders in a post-war Cybertron, and they rocked capes. I sort of remember something from the very end of season quote unquote 4, which was like what, 3 episodes, and it was called The Rebirth. And that was after Optimus cured the rage virus or whatever it was called by opening the matrix up, and the only way to cure rage was knowledge, so he opened the matrix up and emptied it. I remember them working together. I don't remember the capes. Does anyone remember Optimus and Megatron wearing capes other than him? But I would say if you're gonna collect that line, you might as well go all in because it's one of those things that if you miss it, you miss it. And that's why I said, like, I didn't pick up Soundwave. Now I feel like I should have, especially considering I bought other smaller Soundwaves. Which, by the way, the sound to go with the Soundwave is coming out this week, so look forward to that. It is mercifully shorter because I took out all the transformation stuff. So there's that. And I guarantee you the main reason most people probably didn't watch that video is because they saw how long it was. I'm sorry, when there's a lot of stuff to transform, it takes a minute. But I really do enjoy the New Age stuff. Speaking of which, New Age just showed off their Galvatron that's coming. It looks stupid good. And compared to the previous, I'm pretty sure DX9 did one back in the day, but it looks so much better. Okay, what else do we got here? Okay, so question a little ways ago on the Beastbox Sharkira video, Venom X987 was asking on was any word on if your copy had poor QC or if it's a world or a mold wide problem. And I replied to him, if one has it, 100 has it. So doesn't mean every single one's going to have the problems that I had with mine. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch the review. Patroneers know what I'm talking about because they've got to watch me deal with it in real time. Excuse me. So in my out the box video for Iron Claw and Sharkira, I fixed Sharkira on camera. So it was a very long out the box review. But I assume that if mine had it, everything put together that day probably had it. Do Sharkira hips lie? Sharks don't have hips, Jerry. What do you think of the She Gundam design and upcoming movies? Faithful novel design and the Katoki one. I think it's cooler. I never liked Katoki's color scheme. Um, Considering I know nothing about Hathaway's Flash except for when I built the Penelope, sure, I'm excited because then I get to buy another thing that should have been an RE, but they're making it as an HG. So there's that. I mean, I look forward to the movie. The movie looks like it's going to be really cool. I love the animation style, and I like the concept that it's still continuing on the UC timeline. So I'm excited to watch that, and perhaps myself and Rodimus would do a review of it when it comes out. We got anything else worth looking at here? Oh yes, so Venom X987. Prior to the Sharkira comment, also commented on Space Anthem, which, if you didn't go watch that, that's a new space flavored parrot. Go watch it. It makes sense. It's a good question, though. It says, which of these beast boxes would you say is the first one to get? He said he just ordered his brother the Anthem one. Um, in the thing, I said, look, there's no bad one to start with except for Leviathan. Leviathan was the whale submarine that made no sense because it was a vehicle for beast boxes, except that it was the size of the regular ones. But if it's supposed to have a JoJo piloting it, it would have to be massive. And it was so simple and boring. I said that was the only one you definitely should not get. Um, but if you are interested in the Beast Box stuff, by all means, go watch the reviews. Apparently, a lot of people have been. I just scrolled back and went, "What? Where are these views coming from?" So I think 52 Toys is promoting a lot more, and I'm getting a whole lot more search results, things like that, coming up as the reasons why people are seeing my videos. So, except for the like newest ones, all my Beast Box stuff is getting a ton of views, and that's great. Welcome, by all means. I hope to be getting a lot more of those. They have not gotten back to me though on whether or not I can look at any of their prototypes. Good evening. We just talked about you, Mr. Hida Atarasi. I was addressing your Transformers, Optimus, and Megatron wearing capes thing. Is Hathaway's Flash before or after Unicorn? I believe it's way after. It's like way after Unicorn. But you got to think Hathaway's Flash was written way before Unicorn existed, so it's in that pre Unicorn or pre UC 96 timeline, so to speak. I mean, someone forgot to mute the phone. Let's see here. Oh, by the way, they showed off. Fidgety Toys are showing off somebody who got their green dragon already, presumably in Asia because it's not out over here. And it looks so good. It's so long. I cannot wait to get it. And I was asking, I was like, hey, can we get a red redeco of this to look like the Red Dragon Thunderzord? Because that's what the person was modeling it next to. I was like, that would be a really sick redeco. Q retcons, yes. Well, in theory, it'll be retcons. Who knows? Okay. What else we got? These are just comments. Somebody was asking if a thing was a. Oh, so I want to address this from Silver Tongue. It was on the Shin Musha review. And he was asking, so is this an action figure or a model? If it's a kit, then Amazon has it mislabeled. I have noticed that a lot, that Amazon has Gunpla kits set as action figures or toys. And I will say there are some that do cross over, the character model. There are some things, of course, that are Tamashi Nations or other things like that. Robot Damashi, any of those. So I would say if you are looking on Amazon to get things, make sure it's the kit. If it does not have a picture of the box, don't trust that it's not a kit, especially when they have it mislabeled. Because there were ones I was looking at this past week for future Double October stuff, and well, one they want more than double the kit in shipping, which means they're not local. Uh, and two, it's just hard to find older Double O stuff that wasn't reprinted. Anyways, so always double check that on Amazon. Make sure you're buying a kit. If it does not show the box, don't trust that it is a kit. Twilight Axis is 6 months after Unicorn. That does make sense. I thought it was way sooner or way closer to actual Char's Counterattack. I thought it was only a couple of years after Char's Counterattack. Is there anything else here? Oh, yes. And then Hida constantly talking about crabs. It's a little weird. All right, I'm going to pop over to the other channel real quick. Hey, we're just under 300. We have 299 subscribers on the secondary channel. I need you guys to go over there. If you're not subscribed, go to Shoky Reviews 2 and subscribe. I want to see it go over 300 subscribers in the middle of this live stream. Go. I'm waiting. Not a lot of people saw the new Darth Vader review because it accidentally got scheduled at the same time as the Admiral Akbar review. Like, I think one accidentally released like 30 minutes before the other, so I had to make it private and then put it back out, so not a lot of people saw that. So if you're interested in seeing the new version of Darth Vader from the Black Series, go look at that. Let's go check out comments. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I actually do have some. What is Hida without the crabs? I don't know. Less itchy. Lindell Rodriguez, what's going on? If you're just showing up, at the moment, I'm just going over comments that I've got over the last couple weeks and just taking questions and bullshitting at the moment. Okay, so, oh, hey, somebody I have not seen for a long time, Marvel and DC 379 on the White Rangers review. White Ranger is one of my favorite Rangers as a kid. I even like this more than Tommy's Green Ranger form. I want the Evo 3 Draken, but he's pricey. He was pricey. And I ordered the Draken Evo 3, which is technically Evo 4, but for some reason they skip his first evolution. So I ordered it from Pulse, or I pre-ordered it from Pulse. And because I wasn't a premium member, I just got to do the waiting game like everybody else. And then they sent an email like several weeks later saying, "Oh, sorry, due to a miscalculation, we're not going to have enough. We're canceling your order. We're going to refund you. But if you'd like to get it again, here's a link. It will be up. It'll come back out again in March. So if you missed this version of Draken, you'll have a chance to buy it again in March. However, what Pulse seems to have done, because Draken was $50, I never saw a refund from them at all. But then I noticed that I'm suddenly a premium member. So I think they refunded my money towards a premium membership. So now I'm a Pulse premium member after all these pre-orders that I actually wanted. have come, and I still don't have my Heroes of Endor set that I ordered. God knows when that's going to come. I ordered the metallic pink ranger that's cat, so that comes eventually. But will I get the premium one on that, or will I get regular schlubby pulse member? Over on the new Black Ranger review, Leonardo Alanis, you do the best unboxing plastic birthing ASMR. So if you're unaware of what I do on the secondary channel, whenever I'm generally opening a new figure, I'll take it out of the packaging, like the initial packaging, do my initial review, like out of the box, and then I'll open it in front of the camera more directly, review wise, in what we call the plastic birthing ceremony or your plastic birthday, something along those lines, where it has to be removed from packaging. So it's fun to me. I just do it. Get free shipping now, at least. Free shipping and yeah, but free shipping only matters if you buy enough stuff to offset the cost of the membership, right? Is Megazord Daijujin the only Ranger Sentai robot that made it into the Bandai SOC line? Uh, no, because they did the full Ultrazord. But prior to that, or post that, I should say, there has been nothing. So no, the Megazord, the Dino Ultrazord, as it were, they did the full thing through Soul Chigoken. And I still would like to at least get Soul Chigoken Dragon Zord or Dragon Caesar. Um, and Nate said he could get it for me for a decent price. But I don't need Titanus. One thing that's really kind of upsetting is that the Soul Chigoken Titanus is little more than an upgrade of the Legacy Titanus, and that's true. They're almost identical, with a couple things altered for the different dimensions and details picked out a little bit better. I saw Red Megatron yesterday. They look like Jackie Chan. They look like Jackie Chan next to Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's funny. I'm not sure what that means, but okay. Okay. Let's see here. And the NECA Ultimate Marty McFly. Let's see here. Leonardo Alanis also said, "Dude, I love the editing at that timestamp. Hilarious how you cut right before it fell down." So if you watch the review, when I'm switching from something that's going on to another scene, I think I'm still looking at the accessories. He's standing there and literally falls back, and then I cut. The funny part is that wasn't me editing, because what I was doing was going over the accessories. So I'd look at the accessories, pause, pan up, pan the camera back up, apply the accessory however they needed to be applied, and then go from there, and then pause, and then cut down. So the funny thing is, when it fell over, where it cuts is actually where I paused the video. So that was live in camera editing, if you want to put it that way. I didn't edit it later to do that. It was actually really funny. But I left the fall in there when I did edit to see if anybody would catch it. He's the only one who did. Height difference. Oh, okay. Not a whole lot else going on over here. Oh, something I did want to address that makes no sense. So, for those who also don't subscribe to the secondary channel, when I have Transformers on, or any kind of real Transformer, I usually would do what I call the Transform and Rollout, or Taro, as I call it, over on the secondary channel. So, there's a reason for you to go back and forth between the two. And it's usually going from bot mode to alt mode in general. So the 52 Toys Cannibal review on the main channel has, I think, like 100 something. Hold on, let me look. Got to bounce back and forth between channels here. So it has, Cannibal would be the green crab, 160 views. The Taro video for it on the secondary channel has like 300 some odd views. So for some reason, people are seeing the Taro video, but not the actual review, which I find really funny. So wait, is there a big height difference between Jackie Chan and Arnold Schwarzenegger? Because Arnold's buff, but is he tall? Or I should say, was buff. And yes, look, we're at okay. That's funny. From one side to another, one says 300 subscribers, the other says 299. So it's possible I'm at 300 subscribers. So hey, if you just subscribed to the secondary channel, welcome. Phone's acting wonky, and I'm getting Instagram notifications at the same time. Okay, now that I asked the question, I want to Jackie Chan height. Okay, so Jackie Chan is 5'9". Arnold Schwarzenegger height 6'2". I mean, okay, so that's a pretty good difference. Maybe it's just because he's older now and he's shrunk ever so slightly. Speaking of crabs, fun fact: crab lice are related to gorilla lice, meaning that some proto-human got freaky with an ape. I mean, who wouldn't? And can you technically have lice if there's no hair for them to burrow in? Asking for a friend. And even though there's virtually no crossover at all, I'm going to address some comments over on the third channel just for the heck of it. And for guys who, if you don't, if you're not subscribed to the third channel, go check it out at least. Right now, for the most part, I'm going over musical artists that you've probably never heard of, and that's basically what I'm doing, is sharing the other kind of stuff that I wanted to, look at over there. So, if you don't know who Avi Kaplan is, you need to go watch the videos to go find out. And the most recent one I did was his song "Other Side," and like most of the comments are love this guy, can't wait to see him on tour, stuff like that. There was a guy on one of these. Let me figure out what it was. And it's an interesting comment, and it's call it accidental, um, an accidental insult, so to speak. Okay, so Avi, he's got a big beard. He's got very long hair, and in the music video I was talking about or watching, he's wearing very kind of raggedy clothes, and he's leading people throughout the video, stuff like that. And in the video, I called him the Jesus of the Woods. I figure most of you understand my meaning when I say that, right? Life finds a way. Yes. Just saw Love and Monsters movie. It's charming monster crab in that movie. I kind of want to watch that. It looked interesting. All right, so I want to address this comment and see what you guys think about this. Okay. So, one observation to think about regarding calling Avi Jesus. I grew up in a wealthy suburb outside of New York City. Many famous people live there. Paul Newman, most prominent celebrity. There are many others. Betty Davis, for example. As a result, our town ended up being roughly with a third each of mainstream Protestants, Catholics, and Jews. Works out good. Nice balance. Religious holidays are covered in essential services. People don't practice. Okay. Give us sets of holidays off school, yes, but for Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, as well as learn to play dreidel. As shown, got a bit jealous because our Jewish friends had 7 days of presents during Hanukkah. I'm also older, so there were Holocaust survivors in our town. I'm quite friendly with this person who was French, and only survivor of the Holocaust to their family. During the time, Nazis would taunt the Jewish men and beat. Hold on, as they beat and killed them during them, telling them they wanted to be the Messiah, didn't they? Since they didn't accept Jesus as such. So I suggest that no one call Avi Jesus. It's very hurtful and should be in the same category as calling a black man the N word. Um, to my understanding, he has Jewish heritage. I don't know the exact makeup of it and stuff like that. However, when I think a lot of people would consider certain things a compliment. What's up, Robert White? Um, And given the context of what we were watching, he's literally bearded man, long hair, dressed in scraggly clothes, but who is leading a bunch of people together for a revolution, very much like Jesus was. Um, but like, and I know that there's always a contention between Christians, Catholics, Jews in that whole situation of what technically happened there. Now, given anything that may have happened during the Holocaust, it is what it is. Um, Obviously, not condoning anything like that, but to conflate calling someone Jesus in a complimentary method, not as an insult, is equivalent to the N word. I'm going to go with no. Man, I don't tend to talk about these things. Um, there's lots of racial slurs and things like that, and Jew is both a religion and a kind of a race in a way. A people, a type of people, at least the original people from where it all spanned from. Yes, but it's like I think intent tends to matter more, and if you're using it as a compliment, someone should not take it as an insult. Does that make sense? So, and then someone else even replied, Jesus was born and raised Jewish, many Christians. Yeah, technically, Jesus was a Jew. Jesus, Christians are what came of Jesus's beliefs. So, do with that as you will. It said, okay, so Jesus was born and raised Jewish, and many Christians have a mental idea of a man that Avi resembles being Jesus. As I said, he look like a Jesus. I don't think reactors calling Avi Jesus are making religious references more stereotypical looks like with the popular image of Christ, thus not intending any hurt. So, yes, this person understood my meaning. Yeah, it's weirder as an insult than a compliment. I agree. Uh, but that was something I just kind of felt like addressing because that was out of nowhere. Um, that was just like, okay, like that. That's, I mean, there's been some rude-ish people coming into that channel as well. And it's fine if you want to critique the way I review things, that's fine. I had to change the way I record stuff so that when and if I sing along, I can control my own audio so that I'm not karaokeing, so to speak. But that struck me like, okay, so even if he is of Jewish faith, I think he would easily understand what somebody meant by calling him Jesus. Now, is he going to take offense to it? I don't know. If he did, or if anyone along those lines actually takes offense, obviously no offense was intended, but I don't believe that those two things can be conflated, if that makes sense. You know. So, but I think that's going to be it for reading comments for the time being. There's not a whole lot going on there. However, if you're interested in finding the video that brought that up, by all means, go over to the channel. It doesn't have to make sense. And go check out the videos over there. You might actually get introduced to some music and other things like that. You have no idea. I mean, I reviewed the SpongeBob anime. I originally did that on a second channel, but then when I started a third one, I just moved it over there. And I do need to do the English dub of the SpongeBob anime because I think that's hilarious. And then I also need to go review his episode of the Scooby Doo anime. Yeah, it's a thing. So I'll be doing that possibly tomorrow. I've got a lot on my plate, but I think I'm gonna. This is a really charged scenario. True. I got a lot to do tomorrow. I've got to do the in the kitchen video as soon as the wife leaves in the morning. So I'll have the kitchen available. Um, and then I need to do these quickies that I started. So for those who don't know, as I said, I like to do the initial out of the box reaction when I'm reviewing action figures. So I film those first. I'll do those in a block. Like every figure I've got, I'll do them in a block, and then I'll do the reviews either later that day or a week later in some cases. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm still working on the custom. I started doing some cutouts here. Let me show you. So because I was tired of wasting plastic, I started cutting out pieces and shapes out of cardboard. Actually, this is the bottom of a Gunpla box, so it's perfect, almost like cardstock, to cut out shapes and things like that for styrene. So that once I get to cutting the styrene pieces I want out of the little bit of sheet I've got, I'm using the real thin stuff for this. I'm paneling. I'm making panels, so I don't want it to stand out ridiculously. Um, Now I have the shapes cut out, and then I can go from there. Do we have plans for Thanksgiving? Yes, we are going to my mom's. That is the only plans we have for Thanksgiving. Um, there's a lot, obviously, with the world being the way it is currently. That is kind of a stressor for people who need to get together. But we've been with my parents off and on throughout this. If we have time, we'll go see her parents as well. But that's a long drive out of the way. Maybe we'll just wait for the weekend. But I mean, it'd be cool if we could actually have them come and visit. I don't think we brought that up though. Either way, that's all we're doing. Just gonna go spend the day with my parents, and even that's gonna be limited just by the fact that there's a ton of drama. There's always a ton of drama with the family. So like these sister don't like these sisters, and this brother was an asshole this time, and all kinds of other stuff. And my mom's been going through it for the last couple years with her health, and some people don't seem to understand that. Without going into specifics, some people have misunderstood things throughout time, and it's just been a mess. So careful on the trip. To where? My mom's. It's a 20-minute drive. I need to finish my unicorn luminous crystal kit and start on a Gundam frame in time for Krampusnacht. Interesting. My wife's not doing her usual big Thanksgiving shindig this year. Yeah, dude. We used to have massive. I come from a huge family, both on both sides. I come from a very big family. We used to have gatherings where there was like 45 people in one house, and that wasn't even everybody. That was just everybody who didn't already have plans to be elsewhere. Um, I might try to go see my cousin because he and I spend a lot of time together. Um, and his family usually does things, but his brother has been on the outs for the last few months for whatever reason. He just decided to be a dick, or something went down. Nobody really seems to know the exact thing that happened, but his brother and his family have sort of gone off on their own. So now it's just like going to be him, his mom, and his girlfriend's family, which is cool. But might drop in on them at some point. Robert White, hey Shoky, why are you spelling my name wrong, Robert? You're like deliberately spelling it wrong. Start ignoring you if you keep doing it. Doing a custom paint job in Titan's Color Gundam Mark II MG. Color I'm using is R metallic black gunmetal. Oh, the colors I'm using are Gundam or metallic black gunmetal, light gunmetal. No blue. I mean, Mark IIs are blue, not black. Well, I say Mark II Titans, but that's cool, I guess. I'm a fan of light gunmetal. I started using it, both because regular gunmetal was a little too dark. Speaking of which, I got to start figuring out paints for this thing, and I have a commission to work on very very soon because it has to be to the person prior to Christmas. I'm not a particularly social guy. Holidays have always been stressful as hell. A small group of guests. I'm more keen on smaller shindigs, but it's nice to have a bigger family affair, especially when even on like off years we would still have 20 or 30 people max. So, me and several cousins, we would usually sit outside or wherever there was space and a table, and we would play dominoes all night. So that's kind of what we're going to be missing. Also, the food. I come from a family of people who cook. I mean, my family is of Eastern European descent, so we have some good meals. Um, and certain aunts made really good certain foods, but now that we're not all coming together, we're just kind of like, well, that sucks. But I don't know. And hell, this could, as sad as it is, I mean, it could be one of the last Thanksgivings they even get to see each other, and have a family get together. Tetsuya the Otaku, hello. You spelled my name right. Robert White, who's been here forever, is not spelling it correctly. Uh, excuse me. Buffalo Wild Wings. And by the way, guys, I don't think I've addressed it. Prior to the live stream last week, I was hanging out at a friend's house and we got into some extremely hot sauces. If you are fans of the show Hot Ones on YouTube over on First We Feast, they have subscribed to the Heatonist hot sauce box, monthly hot sauce box. So they have like a lot of the previous seasons of Hot Ones sauces along with a few others. And I tried a lot of the hot sauces last week and I paid for it repeatedly. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But when you see people on Hot Ones having a really difficult time with some of the more outrageous hot sauces on that list, I can tell you there's a reason. Yep. The last dab, not a joke. Nope. And then like he had a couple other ones that were really good. So I'm hoping to get together with him sometime soon and do a Hot Ones like show where we eat super hot spicy wings and answer questions. Do not want. What don't you want? Oh, so do any of you guys do Friendsgiving where you'll get together with just a small group of friends instead of family or perhaps like after the fact? Because we tried to put one on Ghost Pepper's hot. Yes. Ghost Peppers are hot, but Pepper X is worse. Um and Carolina Reapers are pretty bad. Which is like half the things I ate were Carolina Reapers based. Now, mind you, I wasn't going nuts, and I was actually eating it on some boudin. If you're not from the South, you probably don't know what boudin is. Um, but we did not have enough bread at the time, and I was dying. Um, it was really good though, but it was just like he got super excited. Do not want burning. Yes, I'm just happy I didn't get any on my fingers because I know that would have burned. You want to talk about finding any cuts? Like hand sanitizer for finding small cuts on your hands? Sure. Hot sauce for finding any cuts on your hands? No, it'll still burn. Um, he actually gave me one of the sauces because he said he really didn't like the flavor and he was just going to throw it away. And it's almost more of a barbecue. And I tried it and I liked it, but clearly whatever I ate it on was absorbing most of the heat because then I actually Google won't let you spell my name right. That's funny. I was trying to approve the messages, could not get to the thing there. Adobo. Yes. Bruno Correa. What's up? Actually, I had an adobo chili sauce, smoky adobo chili sauce on my hot wings tonight. Not really any heat, just nice. I do have some pretty good hot stuff in the fridge, but nothing that is reaching towards the level of like the last dab stuff like that. So I think that would be really fun. Actually, I really want to get him over to talk about music and stuff like that and other nerdy things. Uh, there we go. Sorry for not joining your Batlog stream back then. Needed to handle some stuff at the office at the time. Yeah, that sucks. You missed a good stream. That was surprisingly fun. I can't believe how many people we had for that. That was impressive. I learned my lesson with spicy Doritos, sriracha. Got burned in the end. You know, every time you type dumbass, it Google says no, you can't put that there. Everybody else can do it. You got to have it in there as a word it recognizes so that it doesn't want to correct you. Just spell it right, me. Um, there's some good spicy Doritos, but Takis, the Takis super spicy chips, their ghost pepper chips are ridiculous. And I wanted to do the one chip challenge, but I couldn't find them anymore. Like they were all over the place at this one gas station, and then they were gone. So I'm guessing somebody cleared them out. Like just wanted to buy all these stupid hot, ridiculous Ghost Reaper powdered covered chip, just one chip. So that's cool. I think it'd be fun. Though I will say, something hurt me the last Sunday that I did not suffer from until Monday, and then it continued on through the week. And it was a pain in my chest right here, and it was like inside, so I wasn't like didn't bruise anything, but I didn't know if it was due to the hot sauces, like maybe ulcerating something, or the fact that I was putting a starter in his truck and had to do a whole lot of crazy maneuvers while under the vehicle, which may have been the case. I think I pulled something. I think the last time I worked out really hard, I had a very similar pain, and it was like right beside what felt like right beside my esophagus, in between my lungs. So it didn't really hurt to breathe, but it hurt to shift weight, stuff like that. Batlog episode 1 is better. I don't remember the one from Try, to be totally honest. I barely remember all the ones from Try. I mean, I thought most of the Batlog ones had to do with imaging. If you eat something hot, try drinking chocolate milk. If I had some chocolate milk, I definitely would have. I did eat chocolate though to try to help. Um, I've been becoming a little more lactose intolerant as I get older, so my milk intake may not help. That might exacerbate the problem or create a wholly new one. But I agree with you. Chocolate milk should work for that. I just did not have any. We did get ice cream. Uh, we got ice cream on the way home, and that did help to some degree. But once again, I still paid for it. My stomach was a ridiculous mess of things by the end of the night. Milk helps removes the spice by a lot. There's conjecture there because scientifically it should. In practice, it doesn't necessarily do it. Much like water should, but it doesn't necessarily. It's actually more or less the cold. Cold helped more than anything than just time. Most of the time, unless you have a detergent, as in something soapy, it's not really going to move the oils and things away. You have the science of trying to counteract it, which makes sense, but most of the time it's the cold that makes a difference more than the actual content of the thing. When Michael Stevens and Sean Evans did it, the thing that they determined that worked the best legitimately was shampoo because it literally rinsed it off the tongue. Not that you should ingest such thing. Oh, that's where Char fought Ribbons and fought Armor or fighting Amuro. Nah, didn't care. That's how little I cared. I think the best battlelog was the Renatos versus the Meijing, personally. I also noticed, unfortunately, that the Re-Rise battlelog didn't have an episode number. No, but that leaves it open ended because who knows? I mean, I still believe the Samyang challenge. No. Uh, I don't tend to do challenges, if I'm honest. But I would assume that if they have the time, they'll do 5. That's my assumption because there's so much they can do. But I think it also matters on whether or not they have a sequel. I think the problem was is that some of the battle logs had to do with original build fighters, and then you would have to try stuff like that, where it's just mixing stuff. Love me Moonstruck chocolate milk. I can chug a gallon in a single week. Chug a gallon in a week. Yeah, sure. Rerise backlog ending gave me blue balls. Well, that sucks. Probably shouldn't have been stroking to it. All the chocolate milk is also really good. Nice. What is your bias go-to color for custom Gunpla? Uh, that's I don't know that I have one because it depends on what paint I have. Because I've got grays and silvers, silvers and yellows, yellows and white, reds and golds, and then like brown, and then red and white. So I don't think I have a go-to color. It just matters what I'm. If there's a theme involved, realistically, is what matters more than anything to me. So I mean, it's like my kind of char flavored. Nope, actually made a thing. So the my char version of May, you know, that color scheme has nothing to do with my Gray's Karibata, which is something else. Now the grays in the original ball and cup are the same colors because that's the only paints I had. You want to get that checked out. Yeah. So I don't think I have a bias. Realistically, I just want it to make sense color scheme wise. All I know is I hate using yellow if I can avoid it, and then I went ahead and made something that was half yellow. So there's that. But then again, I made something that was different shades of brown and gray. What's your color bias in custom Gunpla, Mr. Bruno Correa? Correa. Okay, it says 300 subs, so I need more people to go over to the secondary channel and subscribe now. I'm probably going to do a giveaway over there when it hits 500. I would really like that to get to 1,000 so I can have two channels actually making money instead of just one. I'm asking because I have no ideas currently. Well, that me telling you what I do doesn't help you. I mean, if you have a thing you're building and you need color ideas, the best thing I can say is if it's a specific suit, get a line drawing of it that's in black and white and literally color it out. What did you think of the King Go Sour kit? I don't have that one. I looked at it, or is it the one that I do have? I don't remember the Go Sour. I mean, it was fun. Too much detail was needed to be added to it. It's like half the fun of a mini plug kit, but with all the problems of a combining gunpla. I wanted to get the rest of them. I just kind of lost interest. If I did a custom, I'd be interested in a common rider cross. I heard someone say the amount of sugar for a heat thing makes sense because it gives your tongue something else to do. However, it's super temporary. I think I saw on Food Theory they tested honey, like basically like lemon honey water, essentially was like one of the better things to do. The lemon to use the acid to help wash it away, the honey to add the sugar, and then things like that. Um, Basically, it just turns into a syrup in your mouth, and it helped more or less. So, if there's something along those lines you can do, then yes. If it's a mild heat, yeah, that will definitely be a cure. If it's an extreme burn, not so much. You're not going to overpower it that easily. Cold is your best bet. Uh, That's one part of it. Okay. See, I wanted to get the one that's like on its own, like a big T Rex. I think it's the green one. It's almost like a Dragon Zord situation. And then I know they have the next one, which is like a bigger. almost like Tricerodon type thing. And I like the designs, and I like the combining aspect, of course, being like a Sentai thing or a Toku thing, realistically. But it's just like all the other things I got to do just falls to the wayside. So you have a bias of white and purple, and a custom Gunpla of G3. Okay. It's usually super satisfied with whatever color the kit comes in. Sure. Magnosaur is a T Rex. Okay. I say sour, whatever. I thought that one was a really cool design. On its own, it's a really cool standalone, and then of course you can do some combining things. So I like them. Um, I just it. I have no need to ever transform the thing again, and that kind of takes the aspect of building the separate robots out of it for me. If that makes sense. While I love transforming things to that degree, it becomes a chore. I've got the Gosaur and the Magnosaur in my backlog. See, there you go. He'll tell you. There you go. Send me the Magnosaur. I'll build it and he'll send it back to you. Hey, baby. What's up?
Can you tighten this for me?
What?
Right.
Is that your? Why is it on that foot?
Because it's the one I have my house burning.
Okay. I don't know. How am I supposed to tighten it?
The back part, just unvelcro it and tighten it. I can't get it tight.
Oh, jeez. You didn't tell me I was going to do that. You don't want it too tight.
Thank you.
Because then your foot will go numb overnight. I got to burp again. Yes. What kind of paints do I use? The same ones I always use. I'm a jackass. It's fine. Tamia, you should know that. You've been around long enough. Right? By the way, forgot live stream. You got to do the thing. Got to have the Funicorns. You got to have the Trophy of Apathy. Even though it's reversed for whatever reason. It's the camera is meant to do this. Why is it reversed? So stupid. Do I even have the ability to unreverse it? Probably not, because for whatever reason Logitech said you don't need to control your camera that much anymore. Yeah, they don't. They you can't even. There's a final trick to hold up arms of King Gosar that's not in the manual. Oh, well then. Yeah, yeah. We talked about that. Yeah, no, some granulated sugar, not powdered, granulated, should have an effect, depending on the heat level. If it's ridiculous, and like I said, it'll only last for so long. So realistically, if you had some like super cold water along with a thing of sugar on your tongue, it's the whole point of the sugar is to give your tongue something else to do. Because it is basically a sensory organ, So if heat is what's happening, and the funny thing is that what it is, if I remember correctly from the science, what it's actually doing is it's like basically a chemical burn as flavor, if that makes sense. So, as you know, with something that has a high level of capsaicin basically turns into a chemical burn. You can literally burn your skin, stuff like that. So you're literally tasting the burn, as it were. But of course, your tongue heals super fast. But being a sensory organ, it has to process flavor. Technically, that heat is coming across as flavor as a burn as well, along with actually physically burning your tongue. So the cold does both things. It actually neutralizes the burn, just like if you run your hand under cold water to help neutralize the burn. Um, but you need something to help that taste aspect as well. That's why you want to use like something sugary or a good honey we'll do the same thing. Something that's super bright and tart on those lines should help with that burn. Yes, a spoonful of sugar makes the last dab go down, as it were. Problem with cold water for me is I chug it up so fast, or I chug it too fast as the spice comes back. Do you mean like you're just like putting it down too quickly? Is that what you mean? Well, see, that's why I was swishing, so like cool off the whole mouth. I don't just chug it. I actually will absorb it. Suck on an ice cube. That'll probably really help for quite some time. Make your tongue go numb. Except you got to be careful there that you don't bite your tongue by accident. Speaking of customs and paints, good. Gekutsu actually has been doing some customs lately. Not bad, really. At last, he's no longer a Gunpla pleb, which is good for popular Gunpla channel. Yeah, for somebody who really just did straight builds and didn't always sticker them, even to that degree, how he got so big, I don't know. But then again, I also know that people don't care about customs, so there's that. Um, but as a channel that can't get things the second they come out and can't review them as soon as they come out, I will never be able to be that big. So I've got to just rely on what I do, you know, build the kits I want to build. I've got Double October for as long as I can do that, and then my occasional customs, which hopefully people, enjoy. But most of the time when I'm doing customs, I'm doing them in secret, not giving you build logs along the way, unless of course you're in Patreon, which the Patreoners have been getting build log updates on the custom as I go. Gunpla on caffeine. Sure. I don't know. I don't watch him, to be totally honest with you. I don't have anything against the guy. I just don't really watch him. But like what annoyed me the most is that Flame Toys shared his review of the Prime and Nemesis Prime, and he did those as straight builds. They looked like ass. Whereas I basically did what I needed to do to make it look like it did on the box and got my review out first. And in comparison, nobody saw it. So you tell me what people actually want to see, you know? Because there's no formula that I can seem to capitalize upon. I have to accidental into a review with a whole lot of views. I can't plan on it like, ooh, I'm gonna get this because I know people are gonna watch it. I don't play that game. I tried playing that game and it died when the first season of Build Divers did. So after that, it's just like, fuck it. I'm gonna get what I want to get. I'm gonna build what I want to build. People want to watch it. Cool. Yes. And then I'm gonna make some fun customs along the way. Did I get pre-order Wing Zero Verka? I did not order a Wing Zero Verka. I just plan on getting it at some point. I think I plan on getting it. That's the thing to me. I think I want it, but I don't know. It's cool, but I don't know if I need it. You know? And I'm at the do I need it stage of collecting, even though technically I do need a new Wing Zero custom since my other one is my Christmas tree topper. And I don't have a representation of it in the actual wing collection. So, to my mind, I should get it just because I'm not like overly excited because it's a new version of Wing Zero. But if I get it, I get it. I'm still holding back on Flame Mags until I can do Lord Megatron justice. Yeah, I got to get new paints. I had all my paints laid out for that Megatron, and then I used them for other things because I didn't have Megatron yet. So now I have to get those. I got to remember what paints I wanted for him. I still have some of them, but probably not enough to actually paint him up the way I want. But I'm happy to have an IDW Megs. And did I get the Decepticon version? No, I got the Autobot version. Okay. But I can always slap a Decepticon logo on him if I wanted to. Um, I did talk to Space Cadets. I was there yesterday to pick up the kit that if you're following my social media, you saw. Um, yeah, I know. I'm aware of that. That's why I always paint my Flame Toy stuff. But he told me that they ordered the uh, the Furai Action Optimus Primal, and he's like, "Are you gonna get one?" And I'm like, "No." It's like, I know how much that costs. Are you kidding me? It's like, I'm not gonna pay that much for a pre-painted model kit that I don't even get to put together. It's like Flame Toys found a whole new way to kind of screw you, because if you're not in the bracket to afford uh their full on figures, then it is what it is. So you tend to get the model kits, which are mostly affordable. But then they did Furai Action, which is a model kit that comes pre-assembled and pre like an actual action figure, but with no die cast and no effects and stuff like that. So they charge you more than double, maybe even more than that, than of the actual model kit. So it's like, no, I'm good. Looking forward to any sales next week? No, I already have all the things that I've. It's like I've already pre-ordered all the things. I don't think there's anything remotely that's going to go on sale that's going to pique my interest. Plus, I'm somewhat broke at the moment. I just had to pay off tires, so all the money I had saved up, I had to pay off a new set of tires. So no, I'm not looking forward to any sales. In fact, I encourage none of you to buy a lot of stuff online because it makes my job shittier. So for Christmas, for Black everything, go buy stuff in store. If you are legally able, go buy stuff in store. Please don't be ordering a ton of stuff online. All of the delivery people out there, regardless of what colored shirt they're wearing, are getting absolutely pounded. We've been getting absolutely pounded all year long. Please take that into consideration as you decide to go spend a shit ton of money on stuff you don't need because it's slightly discounted. And I really mean it. We're not ready for it. We're not ready for Black Friday month, which is really what it's going to turn into. And we're not going to have enough people to get through Christmas with the numbers they're projecting of people ordering shit online. So please do not. It's like if you're going to order stuff, spread it out or do it all at once way before Christmas so that you're not sitting there waiting for stuff, because I guarantee you things are going to get delayed. Not everything's going to get delivered by Christmas this year. I can almost guarantee you that. So please, if you're going to order stuff at all, do it early enough, but also take into consideration that you are absolutely making people's lives worse by doing so. And they don't give a shit on the online stores because it's just money in their pocket that they've been making all year long. Okay. As you foray into social media, do you find K-pop stands annoying in your case? Thoughts about K-pop? I don't tend to have stan problems. Um, I don't really have any feelings towards K-pop. The stuff that I have heard, I do like. It's just not something that's in my rotation in any way, shape, or form. Um, and I know of certain groups that are obviously massive in the world, and I just don't care. Honestly, I feel that at least one. I need new tires. There you go, Jerry. Buy some more tires. You have time. You should try Gundam Battle Gunpla Warfare Mobile. Are you telling me that I need to do that? I quit playing that game a long time ago. It's like I quit playing that a long time ago because I was obsessed with it. I was spending money on it. Um, but at the time, I was stuck where I wasn't getting things that I wanted. I was either clearing battles too easily or they were indefinitely struggling. But like when I quit playing it, it had just gotten to the point where I'm like, okay, I don't need this anymore, and I quit. So no, I'm good. I had my fill of that game. I even went so far as to make a second account on my old phone and then would play on Wi-Fi just so I get extra parts to trade myself if I wanted to. That's when you know you're going too far. Yeah, but I still don't care. Sounds like Gundamville. Yeah, I mean, like, I quit playing Pokemon Go because it was getting way too unhealthy for me. Um, it was taking up all my time, and I was doing a whole lot of things you're not supposed to do while playing the game, or you're not supposed to be playing the game while doing, if I say that. Um, but it's just I got to the point where it was boring. It's just like either my Gunpla's overpowered and I'm just clearing stuff too easy, or other people are doing pay to win, so they're way more advanced. I wanted more mission to be coming out quicker, things like that. And it's just like you reach a point where you're either spending money just to keep going, or you're not having fun. And that's where it came to. So I'm like, you know what? I don't need this anymore. But it did give me Grampage. So there's that. So actually, I would challenge you guys. I tried challenging you guys last year, but nobody listened to actually build one of your customs from the game in real life using the material Gunpla at hand. Because I did it, but I like how nobody had a comment on don't buy a bunch of shit online during Black Friday. I think Deming Zero is a Verka 2.0. I mean, I don't know. I think that it's going to be. I think it's going to be new enough. I think Kotoki's going to do a lot of stuff with it. I don't know. I'm not going to watch any reviews of it either. Because you guys don't know, I don't tend to watch reviews of Gunpla kits. I shudder to think about how much time I waste on MMO app games. A lot. Take you up on that. I have to re-download the game though. I don't know. If I were able to assemble a Gunpla team, uh, I mean, realistically, it would just have to be would just have to be all the Gundam Meisters from Double O. That's just duh. It's like season two specifically, so we get all the next generation Gundams. That'd be the best way to go. That's all I got to do. Best team ever. Use Denon's on arms in the game. If you want to build it IRL, you can never find one. The kits. No, probably not. That'd probably have to be like 3D printed or something. Which the other thing about the game is that it does make a lot of stuff interchangeable. That there's no physical way it could literally be on the same Gunpla. So that's something you got to take into consideration if you're going to build it. I mean, it was for those who didn't follow the builds of the Grand Page. That thing was a pain in the ass to make those three kits function together. That's the Exia, the Grandpa, and the Age One. Um, it's in the Discord. Okay. So, I mean, I had to rebuild and engineer uh, that kit to function. Whereas when Rodimus made the other half, where he did X Age, it took way less effort because the stuff that he was putting together essentially just fit together. Did you post it anywhere? I see that you joined the Discord, but I don't see it. Ah, gotcha. Oh, that's huge. See, I wouldn't have anywhere to put that. I mean, it looks ridiculous too. That sword is absurd. That's funny. Also, what the hell is that? Herb. Reminds me, there's a Jinx 4 Type GBF on NAP Bandai site. Yeah, I've already built that. I've done the Type GBFs. Get it if you want it. It's a good kit. P Bandai got a lot of relist. Yeah, that keeps happening. I actually need the non GBF Jinx Type 4 uh Type 4 Jinx, whatever. Jinx 4 is what I need. Then there's also BBTS has the MGA Laws version. Just don't feel like paying that price for it. Um, I also would like the Federation Jinx 3 stuff like that. So I mean, they're still out there. I could actually probably put together another mini Jinx week if I could get a hold of all the kits. Head's itching. And the funny thing is, I haven't ordered anything else from P Bandai since the Barbatos MG expansion kit. That's the last thing I ordered. Have I ordered anything else? Because I got my first two P Bandai kits, but I can't think if I got anything else. It's like the problem with those is that they would like go up, and if you missed it, then you were just screwed. So you would have to buy it anyways. But I think it's about time to go. I think I've been going long enough for just a BS session. Just fun. I wanted to just talk with you guys. Keep up Sunday live streams when I can. We got out of bed late, so couldn't do a morning one. But I wanted to just feel like I did something today because we did nothing all day long. I did read my new Power Rangers comics. I look forward to reading the one that I've got out there still in box. Obviously, tomorrow I will be filming a whole bunch of stuff, but look forward to an In the Kitchen video, more Transformer stuff over on the secondary channel. I've got Master Chief coming up. There'll be more figures after that. And then I need to film a bunch of music reviews. If you guys have any suggestions for things I can check out on the third channel, if there's any kind of music or like on YouTube type series, like independent artist type deals that I should go and look at, not necessarily music, but like animated series, stuff like that, that is short run that I can check out. Leave me a comment. Not a chat or not in the live chat, but leave it in the comments. Um, but I look forward to getting back to building regular stuff instead of just my custom very soon. And given the things that I just purchased and the things that have come in, I'm looking forward to it. I had 7 months of P Bandai orders ship on the same day. Well, yes. But guys, make sure you do the like and subscribe thing to all the channels. Go over to the third channel so I can get to 100 subscribers. I'm at 92 right now. 8 of y'all to go over there and check that stuff out. And like I do lots of types of music, so if you're interested in that, by all means, like I said, suggest some stuff. But if you see what I've got over there and then you have an idea, drop it in the comments. And I'll see you guys later. Remember, as always, to keep on nerding, to keep on building, and go buy me some merch down below. There's lots of stuff. I'm not used to this. I forgot where the end button is.